Welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin. All right, so to give you a little context, it's Sunday and I'm walking with my daughters to get some ice cream. Well, more specifically, some soft cream. Yesterday was swimming, their swimming lessons. And at the end of the month, they're tested, and if they do well and accomplish what they're supposed to accomplish, they get a new patch and they get to move up. And both my daughters moved up, and when they do that, they get to go out and have ice cream or a dessert someplace, and they get to choose where they want to go. And so today was Sophie's turn. She chose Komeda Coffee, which is a coffee shop here in Japan, and they've got soft cream and shaved ice and that kind of thing. So off we go to Komeda Coffee. And I want to talk about the Air King, all right? The Air King, because I had a bit of an epiphany when it came to the Air King. All right, Captain Danny is a viewer and a pilot, and he's spent significant time with the Air King in a situation it was made for, and he's written an article about it. Link in the description. Be sure to check it out. I feel like he was referring to me in a few lines where he talks about the dial, and he explains the dial, and it's a great explanation, and it really well, it made me understand the watch, because the dial has been my biggest criticism of the current Air King, and I'm talking about the 116900. It's got a busy dial, and if you look at the older Air Kings, it's just completely different. It's a bigger watch, which I'm not so crazy about, but you got that dial, and I understand the dial, and this is a big part of what this video is about. I get it, and read the article for yourself, but according to Danny, there's a lot of checking the time when you're a pilot, and you gotta get it right. And I love these watches here with their somewhat minimalist dial, but I can think of at least 3 occasions where I've screwed up the time. I've thought I had 10 minutes and I had 5 minutes, and I've gone to the bathroom at a train station and I've missed the train, right? Because I misread the time. And it's always these between the 3, the 6, or the 9. It's just like you think it's 52, but it's 57, or you think it's 37, but it's 42. It's those that throw you off. And it happened probably about 2 weeks ago. I was going somewhere with my daughter, and we walked out. We were a bit late for the bus, so yeah, I said, come on, let's speed it up a little bit. Let's go. We got there. The bus was a little late, and I looked at my watch, and I said to my daughter, I'm sorry, I screwed it up. We're here 5 minutes early. All right, let's walk around the block, kill some time. The Air King probably would have saved me in that regard. And the last thing you want to do is be on a plane and misread the time by 5 minutes. You lose your space in takeoff, or look, it's just going to screw up a lot of stuff, 5 minutes. And so I get it. And the dial all of a sudden makes perfect sense to me. And so it really is a watch that makes complete sense when it comes to pilots. And so I've come around. I've seen the light. Is it a perfect pilot's watch? No, we're going to talk about why it's not in a minute. But let me just say that while the dial is too busy for my taste, it's functional and it serves a purpose. And for that reason, I really, I can't criticize it the way I did anymore, all right? Again, it would have saved me. We wouldn't have been out in front of the bus stop 5 minutes early, probably. So being able to tell the time is essential, and if the dial allows you to do that better, then it makes sense. All right, so is it a perfect watch now. Well, you know, it's a lot better than the 34mm Air Kings. I'm talking about the 14000s. And, you know, those they said Air King, but they really look like no date justs. And, or Oyster Perpetuals, I guess you could say. And so, you know, oh, we got a giggly girl here. You want to make an appearance? All right. You like watches?
Yeah.
What's your favorite brand?
Pink.
Pink? What? Pink what? What kind?
Pink shiny.
Pink and shiny watches. All right, excellent. All right. Okay, so I thought she was going to say Rolex. I guess I haven't brainwashed them enough. All right, so it's gotten better. Okay, it's gotten better. It's a bigger watch, and it's gone from 34mm to 40mm. And look, when it comes to a pilot's watch, it's got to be big so you can see it. I mean, I'm certainly not a fan of the traditional, you know, pilot watches, the big pilot watches, but they serve a purpose, their size. And so to say that they're too big is kind of missing it. But I really do think the Air King is too big for me, but it makes sense. It's an improvement. The size is an improvement. And of course, you've got the anti-magnetic properties, and that's a huge improvement. And it's got the Faraday cage and the same movement as the Milgauss. All right, let's check it out. We've seen a park. And so basically, I think it is an improvement, but is it perfect? No, it's not. And I'll tell you why it's not. Because number one, it needs a date. Because if you are a pilot and you're flying internationally, look, yeah, the GMT might make sense, but look, the Air King is the Air King, and it's another watch for pilots, and having the date is going to be really important. Yeah, you might have it on the dials in the cockpit, but what about when you're out on the town between flights? You know, if you're in a city internationally for a couple days, and you know that you fly out on the 21st, and you got a few days to stay there, and it's the 19th, like, you're gonna want to be able to look down and just say, okay, what is the date? So it's gonna be really practical to have that date on there. Now, could you fit a date function on that busy dial? Well, you'd have to work it in there somehow. And, you know, I think it's a shortcoming that it doesn't have the date. All right, could they put the date at the 6? That would be a first for Rolex. Look, it would probably alter the dial completely. So I'm not saying that they could do it in an aesthetically pleasing way. I mean, almost it's perfect. The dial is the way it is for what it is. But again, I just think it's missing some essential functionality for pilots. Danny, let me know if I'm wrong. I mean, you know, if you're in between flights and you got a couple days to relax in another city, wouldn't you want to be able to look down and know what the date is? I mean, God forbid you miss your flight, right? All right, so that's one thing. And the next thing, number 2, is the biggest thing. Now, Explorer 2s and GMT Master 2s, well, you're able to jump the local hour hand, and that makes it so the watch can still run, but you can just crack the crown, pop it out to the first position, and jump the local hour hand hour by hour and not affect the time. And that's really useful. Okay, it's really useful. It's not as useful as just turning the bezel. You still have to hack the crown, but you don't have to stop the watch. Okay, you don't have to hack the second hand and stop the time. And that's one of the beauties of the Explorer 2s and the GMT Master 2s. Okay, the GMTs don't do that. And so the question is, why doesn't the Air King do that? I mean, if you're flying from the east coast of the United States to the west coast, that's a time zone difference, okay? That's something that's going to be really useful. Now, you might fly and then come back, but let's say you fly from the east coast to the west coast and you stay there for a couple of hours. Well, you're going to need to hack that crown. That's kind of a pain in the ass, right? So, and by hacking the crown, I mean stop the time, stop the second hand, and basically essentially reset the watch. But if you can pop out the crown to the first position and just jump that hour hand, that's going to be so much more convenient and useful. You won't have to actually reset the watch. It doesn't matter what time it is. You can do that anywhere, all right? But once you stop that second hand, you need to reset the watch. And so that is a huge shortcoming in regards to the current Air King. And I think that's the biggest shortcoming. And it's debatable whether the date is a big deal or not. But I think having that jump hour hand is essential for a pilot's watch, and it just would make jumping time zones easy as pie. All right, so it's not a perfect watch. It could be. A few improvements could make it a perfect pilot's watch, and these are just two. Let me know what you think. Would that make it a more perfect pilot's watch? I certainly think so, especially the second point. What else? What else? Or is it perfect? Am I wrong here? Let me know what you think. I at least understand the dial. So thank you for that article, Danny. Check it out, guys. It's a good article, and it's made me appreciate the Air King a little bit more. But I can always find something to bitch about, can't I? Let me know what you think. Take care. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Guys, so where are you?
I made a coffee.
Why are we here?
Because Sophie got a patch.
Sophie, you got your patch?
Yes.
Excellent job. All right.
They're coming, they're coming.
ソフトクリームになります。
ありがとうございます。
The cherry.
ありがとうございます。
Oh, there's the cherry.